4 vacuums in one apartment might seem excessive, and it probably is a little bit, but there's method to my madness. I was frustrated with all the tiny little messes accumulating all over the place, especially in my kitchen, and there being just too much friction to go and grab the big vacuum. This handy tool eliminated so much of my cleaning frustration by solving one specific tiny problem. That's reducing that friction just a little bit. Let me tell you how. All right, I don't know about you, but keeping my place clean feels like a never-ending battle. There's always something that can be done. There's always a place that can be tidied. There's always something that can be dusted or vacuumed or mopped. And honestly, it gets old and there's a lot of friction around those processes. I've learned as I've studied efficiency, as I've read efficiency books, as I've listened to productivity stuff, that friction is one of the challenges that people don't take very seriously because it seems super simple and not important, when in fact it is one of the most important things you can do to actually get yourself off your ass and doing something. Tiny messes all over the place, like the crevices in a kitchen, underneath the counters, in my silverware drawer, things like that. Those are all little spots that it's like, I don't feel like going to get my big vacuum. Now, I have a Dyson in my apartment. I also have 2 robot vacuums, one on the main floor and one on the lower level. Pixel's downstairs and he's old. I had him a long time and he needed to retire. So now he's downstairs and he just vacuums a little foyer. Up here, I have a new vacuum, which unfortunately I'm not going to promote because it's not my favorite. But I do have a dual vacuum mopping robot vacuum that I call Navi. And Navi is up here. Bonus points if you get the reference. Love you, Zelda fans. Navi is up here and takes care of most of this stuff. However, that vacuum misses a lot of those. And in fact, most robot vacuums miss a lot of the detail areas. And then there's other areas they just can't get to. How do you deal with those? I find that the more friction there is, the more steps, and friction is measured in like micrometers. They're little teeny things. It's one action. Friction can be, in Techland, it can be one click. Friction can be in real life, like having to change one part or go into one room or something. They're very tiny, almost imperceptible little barriers. And those are the things, at least for me, that can prevent me from actually doing the thing.
Oh my God.
And the thing in this case is vacuuming. So that's where I decided to get a stick vacuum. Now, I tried several. I purchased them on Amazon. I got some cheapy ones. I'll bring this back in just a second, but let me tell you about those. I got some cheaper ones for $20-$30. There's 3 of them that I tried. The first 2, they were essentially identical and just from different vendors. And unfortunately, they would lose suction after just a couple seconds. Like they'd start out kind of strong, not really. And then after 10 seconds, you could actually physically hear the sound of them losing suction to the point where they just were useless. And I kept that one for a long time. The second one I bought when I was finally deciding to solve this problem ended up getting returned. And then I tried a third one. And actually, I was quite happy with that third one, but this is my current one, just to illustrate. The current one has this separate attachment for this extension. The other one had this basically built in where it was telescoping, and I really liked that. That one also had a light on the front, which this one doesn't have. That was one of the downsides to this. That was a nice quality of life thing. But having that telescoping attachment meant I could easily change between things without having to carry a separate attachment with me. That one, unfortunately, it stopped telescoping after like 5 days. It just wouldn't click into place and it wouldn't stay open. So it was completely pointless. And I returned that one too. And that was when I finally decided to go with this Shark. Shark and Ninja are the same company. And I have not purchased a Shark Ninja brand product yet that I have not liked. I own many Ninja products. This is my first Shark product, but I'm going to tell you, when it comes time to replace my current robot vacuum, either because it gets old like Pixel did, or because it pisses me off enough, and trust me, it does a lot of pissing me off, which is why I don't recommend it. When it comes time to considering a new robot vacuum, Shark is going to be the brand I'm going to look at to begin with, because I have just been so satisfied with Shark and Ninja brand products. I have a coffee machine. I have a pressure cooker. It's a multifunction pressure cooker that does all kinds of things. I have several other kitchen appliances. All of them, they just do what they're supposed to, and I've been very, very happy with them. So when it came time to finally say, I'm going to spend a little bit of money, this was the product I picked. And as I expected, it is a delight. It's such a joy to use. So my first requirement is that it needed to actually reduce friction, meaning it needed to go in my kitchen. That's where it's going to be primarily used. And I needed to be able to grab this thing and not have to deal with attachments. This is basically the only one I deal with. It does come with two. It has this one too, and I'll talk about that one in a minute. But I really only need to use this one. So I grab this, and I would say 70% of the time, I don't even need the attachment. I can just use this and it runs. That was the first thing. I needed to just be able to pick it up. I didn't want to even have to insert a cord. I don't want friction. That's the name of this game. I didn't want to have to plug it in, deal with a cord, no. So what it meant was it had to come with a charging base. And it did. This one is a phenomenal charging base. All you have to do to use it is just sit it on the base. Now, the one thing I would complain about, I kind of wish that this cable came out the other end. This is the way it faces to me, and I wish that the cable came out this side so it feels like it comes out the back. So I grab it this way, right? So it's already ready. I don't store it this way. I get what they were going for with this, where it feels like you'd want to store it this way so it was facing forward. That doesn't make sense. I don't want to have to grab it backwards, and then also the attachments are kind of hard to grab. So that's a small, tiny little complaint. I wish that the cord came out this way. No big deal. I store this on the floor in my kitchen. It's tucked away in a corner. And then the attachments both click in to this spot right here. Actually, I did that backwards. The attachments click in like that. They all store together. This is, as soon as you set it down, it's charging. So when you pick it up off the base, it is just ready to go all the time. Meaning 70 to 80% of the time in my kitchen, I walk up, I grab this and I turn it on, and now it's vacuuming and I can get almost everywhere. I have a coffee ground spill on the floor, easy to clean up. I have crumbs underneath my cabinets on the bottom where my robot vacuum misses, easy to get. I have crumbs in my silverware drawer. That's one that drives me crazy. I get crumbs in there all the time. How? All we do is open that drawer and grab silverware and close it. How do they get crumbs in there? What's happening? What Keebler elf is coming into my kitchen and making cookies in my silverware drawer? I don't understand. Anyway, this gets that as well. So none of those messes are too small because I don't have to go where my Dyson is. Now, I will say, I did talk about 4 vacuums. I do have 4. The Dyson was first. I bought a Dyson, and then I bought a Roomba. Roomba is what Pixel is. I bought a Dyson, so I had that first. And so that is a very old vacuum. I didn't just go to Best Buy or wherever and say, can I have 17 vacuums? Please load them in the car. No. This is over many years, and the Dyson is still great. And I'm glad I have it because there are messes that I like to clean with the big vacuum. It's still a hassle when I have a tiny little mess. The effort in comparison feels way greater to have to leave the kitchen, go into the storage room, change the attachments around, grab the vacuum, and walk it into the kitchen. I know that feels really silly, but many of those messes did not get cleaned. Also, my Dyson has one of those canisters in the middle. It's one of the, it doesn't lose suction, but it has that canister in the middle. And that thing sometimes doesn't fit where I need it to, whereas this has such a slim profile. I love it. And it's, like I said, it eliminates all those friction points. So having a charging base, having attachments. Now, this attachment is really nice in that this swings up, and I actually find that it does make a difference. A lot of times I just need this to get around things, but if I pull my silverware out and I'm trying to brush around and knock things loose, it's great for that. This is great for windowsills. It helps get stuff out, and it really does make a difference, and it's nice that it just tucks away. This attachment is supposed to be mostly for hair and things, and it does work like that. It actually has like little felt. You can see the fur is kind of stuck to it here. It has these little felt fur removal things. They're like a glove or whatever. It's that material. And it does work for that. But what I also find it useful for is if I spill coffee grounds, for instance, I mentioned that a minute ago, or if I have something that's a wider mess, this actually will help clean that a lot faster. So I can run this over and it actually will pick that stuff up too. The suction on this is phenomenal, and I've never heard it lose suction. Another thing, and I actually have gunk in this, so I can just show you. I wasn't planning to do this, but I happen to have a trash can right here full of paper. I happen to have gunk in this, and it's a 1-button release. Very easy to release everything that's in there. Then, this was such a moment. I am such a nerd, and I loved this. When I was cleaning this, I opened this, and this little brush right here sometimes gets gunky, and so does this. And I was like, oh, I really wish that this thing would come off so that I could clean it fully. And then I looked and noticed this cute little orange button, and I didn't expect that to be there, but the whole thing pops right off, and I can run this under the sink. In addition, the filters also come off, and it has this metal housing, and then the actual filter itself pops right out. And all of these parts I run directly under the sink, including the filter. You just have to make sure all of them are dry before you put them back in. Every single part is washable under a sink. It makes cleaning this effortless, and then popping this guy back into place that easy. And it takes no time to keep clean. I also will likely get a spare filter so that I can switch those out. The only reason I haven't is because I do wash these other parts and they dry in the same amount of time. The filter takes a little longer, but it's effortless to keep clean. Those parts are going to last forever as long as I take care of them. I love having things clean, but taking all of those steps to get the big vacuum and have it clean out all these little messes just wasn't worth it. I just didn't do it. And that's kind of a takeaway for me, is that I have to respond to how my brain and my body work. Rather than fighting it and saying, well, you should. No, why should I? I'd rather spend a few dollars. This was about $100. This was a little expensive. Solving a tiny problem sometimes is $5, sometimes it's $100, sometimes it's free. This one was about $100 at the time I bought it. I believe it does go up and down on sale. I got it on Amazon and it was worth it. It just means that my space is cleaner. So if a tiny problem that you're looking to solve is little messes, particularly around your kitchen, but it could be in any room. I use this in every room, incidentally, I should say. The bathrooms, it's great. It's great for around the toilet. Like you get hair or whatever in the back in those little areas behind the toilet. It's fantastic for that. Inside of drawers, in closets, it's great all over the place. So I can't say enough about this. This really is the definition of solving a tiny problem. Sometimes you do have to spend money for it, and this one was absolutely worth it.
You did it.
Alrighty, if you're looking to grab this Shark stick vacuum, you can get the link down in the description. I've got it there. You can also go to QueerEfficiency.com/toolbox. Every product that I review will be in there, and you can just search for Shark or stick vacuum and it will come right up. Also, feel free to peruse my other products. And if you want another kitchen tip and haven't already, head back and watch my deli containers video, because that one is a very inexpensive but powerful kitchen tip that will make your storage way better. So if you haven't seen that video, head back. It's on your screen right now.